Magandang araw mga kaibigan. So ito, magandang pag-usapan natin. May mga legal remedies na pwedeng gawin ng defense team ni PRRD para ma-dismiss yung kaso niya sa ICC. Merong magandang paliwanag ng isang abogadong vlogger, si Attorney Neil Abayon. Maganda yung pagkapaliwanag niya, i-share ko sa inyo. No? Pwedeng i-question ng magagaling ang abogado ni PRRD, yung isa na yung British lawyer, kalimutan ko ang pangalan, Nicholas Kaufman, Attorney Roque, and Attorney Midaldea, ano? So, ang pwedeng i-question is yung lack of jurisdiction. Pangalawa, yung inadmissibility of evidences and lack of due process. Hindi man tayo abogado, kailang ito talagang magagandang rason ito na pwedeng gamitin ng defense team ni PRRD sa next hearing. Matagal pang next hearing September 23, 24, 25, 26. Kung di ako it's a marathon hearing. Ang tagal. Marso pa lang ngayon But anyway, let's just pray na magiging healthy ang ating Tatay Digong at ito kayang-kaya niyang depensahan ang kanyang sarili through his defense lawyer. Pakinggan natin si Attorney Neil Abayon sa maganda niyang paliwanag.
The jurisdiction po or the admissibility of his case sa ICC. Okay, at para po mas maintindihan ninyo, brief summary discussion lang muna to. Again, I have thoroughly explained this already in my past videos, pero dito po summary na lang tayo, okay? So yung jurisdiction po, this is basically the authority po of a court to hear a case, to conduct proceedings in a case, and to render po a valid judgment against the parties po in a case. So yan yung jurisdiction. Yung admissibility naman po, ito yung issue kung whether or not pwede ba talagang hawakan ng korte yung kaso despite the fact na meron nga siyang jurisdiction, okay? And because of that po, balik po muna tayo sa basic principles ng Rome Statute, which is unang-una po dyan is yung paragraph 10 ng preamble po ng Rome Statute. So dyan po makikita ninyo, in-emphasize po dyan sa Rome Statute that the ICC is only complementary po dun sa mga local courts po involving criminal cases, okay? That's paragraph 10 of the preamble. And then thereafter po ngayon, makikita rin nyo sa Article 1 of the Rome Statute, in-emphasize po ulit yan dun sa Rome Statute na again, the ICC is only complementary po to the national criminal jurisdictions of local states. And the reason kung bakit in-explain ko po sa inyo yung paragraph 10 ng preamble and article 1 is because that is relevant po to the issue of admissibility of a case. Pero before po tayo sa admissibility, sa jurisdiction po muna tayo ng ICC over FPRRD's case, okay? Kung makikita po ninyo yung case po kasi ni FPRRD, it underwent the formal investigation proceedings po. Nag-start lang po yan noong 2021 or 2 years after kung kailan na-recognize na po yung valid withdrawal ng Philippines from the Rome Statute, di ba? So therefore, kung titingnan po ninyo sa Article 127, Paragraph 2, yung ICC po only has jurisdiction over matters or over proceedings or over cases po kung saan na-conduct na yung investigation prior to the withdrawal of a state, okay? Pero dito po, in the case of FPRRD, he can argue po na since 2019 po nag-take into effect yung withdrawal, tapos yung formal request for investigation was only submitted 2021 po. Therefore, the official investigation or the judicial investigation proceedings started 2 years only after the effectivity of the withdrawal. Consequently po, walang jurisdiction yung ICC over FPRRD's case, okay? So yan po yung pwedeng gamiting defense dito ni FPRRD in relation to the jurisdiction of the ICC over his case. So ngayon po, punta naman po tayo sa possible defense po of inadmissibility ng case ni FPRRD. Okay, so ito po pwede rin to siya gamitin ni FPRRD kung let's say for discussion and argument purposes is meron nga talagang jurisdiction yung ICC, di ba? So despite the fact po kung meron talagang jurisdiction yung ICC, pwede pa rin po yan questionin ni FPRRD yung admissibility because again, the ICC nga po is a court that only complements local courts po. So dito po sa situation ni FPRRD, may kita po natin from the court records mismo ng ICC po 2021, di ba? Nag-start yung investigation. Therefore, Therefore, during that time po, 2021, FPRRD was still the President of the Republic of the Philippines because his term only ended po, di ba, noong 2022. Therefore, between the periods of 2021 to 2022, President Duterte still had what we call immunity from suit. So, hindi po talaga siya pwede kasuhan sa local courts natin. However po, from 2022 up to present, FPRRD is already a private citizen. Therefore, he no longer has what we call immunity from suit or presidential immunity. Tapos wala na rin po siyang influence kung saan pwede po siyang maprotektahan ng justice system natin. Therefore, since FPRRD no longer has any influence or immunity from suit, at kung ako po tatanungin, yung personal observation ko po, gumagana naman yung justice and judiciary natin, di ba? Kasi ako nga po personally, meron ako mga kasong hinahawakan eh. Therefore, pwede po i-argue ni FPRRD na dapat dito siya pinrosecute sa Philippines. Because again, we have to remember, ICC only complements local courts po. And since we have a functioning judiciary, we have a functioning justice system, and FPRRD no longer has immunity or influence to protect himself, di dapat po dito siya kinasuhan. And because of that, FPRRD can question the admissibility of his case dun sa ICC because of the principle of complementarity of the ICC to local courts. Tapos yung next pa pong pwedeng remedy dito ni FPRRD is pwede rin po niya questionin yung arrest na ginawa sa kanya. Because kung ako po tatanungin yung observation ko po doon, yung professional assessment ko, there was really a clear violation po of the right to due process natin as provided po by Section 1 Article 3 of the Philippine Constitution, which states that no person shall be deprived of his right to life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Okay? So since there are possible due process lapses po in his arrest, pwede po yan ngayon questionin din ni FPRRD na hindi na-acquire ng ICC yung jurisdiction over his person dito sa kaso po niya. And I am fully aware po that there are also counter-arguments na yung Rome Statute does not apply, specifically Article 59 of the Rome Statute does not apply to the arrest of FPRRD, considering daw nag-withdraw na tayo. However po, we have to remember that there are also what we call principles of statutory construction. Okay? At kung titingnan po ninyo sa Article 59 of the Rome Statute, ang ginamit pong term dyan is custodial state. Arrest po yan in custodial state, di ba? Minention lang po yung state party sa paragraph 1. However, from paragraph 2 to paragraph 7, lahat na po ng terms used was custodial state. Therefore, if we apply basic principles of statutory construction, we must give it its literal meaning. Meaning, pag custodial state nakalagay, we interpret it as a custodial state. Meaning, we have to interpret it as it is na yung term na custodial state, which means that it is the state that has custody over the person of the accused. And the reason kung bakit ganyan po yung mga basic principles of statutory construction natin, kung saan if the law is free from ambiguity, we must give it its literal meaning. Kasi ang presumption po kasi, alam ng mga authors ng batas yung ginagawa nila, di ba? Therefore, kung alam nila yung ginagawa nila, ibig sabihin, sinadya po talaga nila na custodial state yung term na gamitin. Kasi kung gusto po nila na member state, pwede naman po yan nila ilagay talaga. Pero instead of member state, ang nilagay po nila is the term custodial state. Therefore, we have to interpret it and give it its literal meaning na pag custodial state is custodial state lang siya, period, without correlating or commingling na dapat yung custodial state equals only to a state party or a state member. Okay? And the reason kung bakit ganyan po yan, because most likely yung authors po ng Rome Statute is well aware po of the complexities that involves international matters. So pag international matters po kasi talaga minsan nagkakagulo-gulo na yan, na meron pong akusado na nandun sa isang state na hindi na state member pero gusto pa rin nila kunin yung jurisdiction over his person, and it is most likely for that reason kung bakit custodial state yung term na ginamit nila dito po sa provisions of arrest. So dito po yung Philippines po yung may custody, di ba, kay FPRRD. Consequently, kailangan po sundin din yung Article 59 ng Rome Statute. Okay? Furthermore po, let's say for argument and or discussion purposes, hindi nga applicable yung Article 59 of the Rome Statute kasi nag-withdraw na po tayo. However, we have to remember po in a situation like that, in international matters and or concerns po kung saan walang applicable na international law sa atin, sa ganyang pong situation, ang mag-a-apply po is yung national law or local laws natin. And under our local laws po, meron pa rin po tayong right to due process, di ba? And since this is a foreign warrant of arrest yung pinapa-enforce, this will undergo either an extradition process or will undergo po a foreign recognition of court order. And yung dalawang process po na yan, either extradition or recognition muna of foreign order, that is actually similar din po dun sa paragraph 2 ng Article 59. Kung tingnan nyo po yung requirements on ABC, halos same lang po yung procedure din yan, di ba? So therefore, makita nyo po na yung sa Rome Statute itself, specifically Article 59, they really follow also and comply with the requirements of due process. Okay? So again, ulitin ko lang po, regardless po kung Article 59 ng Rome Statute mag-apply or local laws natin, there is still the right to due process as provided in our Constitution that has to be followed po, regardless kung ano nga talagang batas ang nag-a-apply dun sa pag-aresto kay FPRRD. Ang next question naman po natin is kung kailan ba to dapat i-file ni FPRRD, dapat ba antayin pa niya yung September 23, 2025 na confirmation of charges. Hindi na po niya yan kailangan antayin. Nasa Rome Statute naman po yan during the pendency of the case is pwede na po siya niyan mag-file ng mga motions. So from the date po after the initial hearing up to September 2023, he can already file the appropriate pleadings and or motions po. So pwede po dyan is yung motion to dismiss on the ground of lack of jurisdiction or inadmissibility of the case. So yan po yung mga remedies na pwedeng i-file ni FPRRD. And idagdag ko lang din po pala, yung isa pang remedy din na FPRRD dito is he can also apply for what we call interim release, which is equivalent po yan sa right to bail dito sa atin. Okay? At yung next question po natin dyan is kung ano ba yung grounds for interim release under the Rome Statute. Unfortunately po sa Rome Statute, wala pong nakalagay na specific grounds kung ano yung basihan para i-grant yun siya. Therefore, in a situation like that po, ang mangyayari po ngayon is ibig sabihin po niyan discretionary on the part of the court whether or not to grant an interim release. At pag discretionary po ang isang bagay, ang susundin na lang po niyan is yung mga generally accepted rules or guidelines po regarding the granting of bail and or interim release. Okay? So yung mga common grounds po na ginagamit dyan, unang-una po dyan, kinoconsider is whether or not the accused is a flight risk po ba? Meaning na pag i-grant sa kanya yung interim release is hindi na ba siya babalik dun sa ICC para sa mga proper court proceedings. So yan po yung una i-consider dyan, whether or not he is a flight risk. Yung pangalawa rin po pwede i-consider dyan is yung gravity of the offense po in relation to the circumstances involving the accused. So kung titingnan po ng court kung malakas ba yung evidence against the accused, tapos kung sobrang severe yung kaso na final sa kanya. So yan, those are also considerations, those are also matters that can be considered by the court. And pangatlo na pwede rin po i-consider dyan is yung mga humanitarian reasons, kung let's say because of the age and or health po ng isang akusado.
Okay.
Sakit ng tuhod.
So, salamat, Atty. Nel Labayon. Napakaliwanag, ano? Tatlong remedies. Lack of jurisdiction, inadmissibility of the case, and lack of due process. Kayang-kayang gawin yan ni na Atty. Roque, Medaldea, at saka yung British lawyer. So, dasal lang po tayo. May pag-asa, may laban pa si Tatay Digong.